2026 is probably the best year to buy a PS5, and I will give you 5 reasons for it, or rather 5 games. Because this year we're finally getting some of the most awaited titles that we have been hearing about for years. Some of them went silent, some got delayed, and some just kept teasing us with trailers that just felt too good to be true. But this is the year that they're actually happening. So here are the top 5 upcoming games on the PS5 this year that you need to absolutely watch out for. Let's begin. The moment Marvel's Wolverine was announced, there was a huge wave of reactions on Reddit. Marvel fans especially couldn't stop talking about the game, and I personally still can't get over those final few seconds of the trailer when Logan says, "I'm Wolverine."
I'm Wolverine.
Developed by Insomniac Games, the same studio that also gave us Spider-Man, this won't be a bright adventure swinging through New York. Wolverine looks to be something heavier and much more personal. Logan's world appears brutal, intimate, and unforgiving. Combat appears to be all about those claws with close-quarter fights that could get messy in the best possible way. There are also hints of stealth mechanics which make sense for a character like Wolverine. You're not always going to charge in, sometimes you will be hunting. The game will be out on September 15 this year, and this one is a PlayStation exclusive. Then there is GTA 6, which will first be available on consoles. Expected to launch on November 19 this year, the GTA 6 launch is an event in itself. We are finally getting a new Grand Theft Auto title after more than a decade, and the hype around the game is completely unmatched. From what we know so far, the game is going to take us back to Vice City, but with next-gen graphics. There's a bigger world, more details, and a level of realism that Rockstar has been pushing towards for years. We're also getting dual protagonists this time, with one being a female, and this is something that hasn't really happened in the past. For years, there have been rumors, speculations, and even leaks around the game, and all of this has kept the community way too excited for what's next. Now, if you want to buy a PS5 just to play GTA 6 at launch, you probably won't be the only one. Now, let's come to a game that holds a lot of potential, Pragmata. I personally like to think of this as a mix of Detroit and Death Stranding. Now, if you remember in its first reveal, it had this super mysterious vibe. There is an astronaut, a little girl, robots gone hostile, and a setting that just screams futuristic. The game doesn't appear to be just about the action. It also appears to be about the setting and the story. From what we've seen so far, there's a strong emotional core between the astronaut and the little girl, and both of them want to head over to our home planet, Earth. But something is stopping them. Now, what exactly this is and how things will turn out to be for the two, that remains to be seen in the game. All our questions will be answered on April 17, 2026 when the game drops for the PS5. Capcom has already given us a hit in the form of Resident Evil Requiem this year. Will Pragmata enjoy the same success? We'll find out when the time comes. Next up is something that feels like a fresh start for a very iconic character, James Bond. 007 First Light isn't just another Bond title trying to recreate the movies. Think of this as more of a reboot. Get ready for a younger Bond, earlier in his career, still learning the ropes. And that's guaranteed to be exciting. Because instead of playing as the perfect, smooth agent who has always had a plan, you're getting somebody who's still figuring things out. We can expect a mix of stealth, gadgets, and high-stakes missions, but with a slightly more grounded approach. The game is set to release on May 27 this year, and it is being developed by IO Interactive, the same studio behind Hitman. So yeah, stealth gameplay is probably going to be a big deal here. If done right, this could be the most interesting James Bond game that we have had in years. Then there is Phantom Blade Zero. Now this one is for the players who just want pure style and speed. The game has been getting a lot of attention, and it's not hard to see why. Everything about it appears to be fast, fluid, and cinematic. You play as an elite assassin who only has 66 days left to live. And that ticking clock is not just for the story. It actually shapes how the entire game feels. There's urgency in everything that you do. The combat here looks insane. It appears to be quick, precise, and full of those adrenaline-pumping moments. The animations appear to be smooth, the attacks chain together beautifully, and every fight could look like a choreographed sequence. It's also set in a semi-open world, filled with supernatural elements and massive boss fights that are designed to push your skills. Scheduled for September 9, 2026, Phantom Blade Zero could easily become one of those games that people keep replaying just for the combat. So, 2026 is looking absolutely insane for PS5 players. You're getting emotional storytelling, fast-paced action, stealth-heavy gameplay, and one of the biggest open-world games ever made all in the same year. Which one are you most excited for, and will you finally buy the PS5 if not already? Let me know in the comments and keep following Digit for more such content.